This is the Superhero Circle Show. Glad to have you back. Full house today.
What's up? What's up?
Happy Mother's Day first before we start. It's Sammy two times.
Sammy, what's poppin', slime?
It's Jay in the house.
That last guy, next to the last guy was Eclipse. Yeah. So glad to have you with us.
Oh,
It,
shoot.
it is Mother's
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
It's
Oh,
Mother's
man.
Day. You can tell Eclipse is really excited to be here.
I love my mama.
So with that being said,
I
we're
don't
gonna
even know why. I don't even have a mom.
nice. We're gonna talk about the strong women in the comic book world. Everyone can talk about whoever they want to talk about. You don't have to pick or choose. Whichever one comes to mind that you like, don't like, the ones that you don't.
Just giving props to all the ladies in the superhero world. That's Mother's Day.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Fitting.
Yeah. So whoever wants to start out, go ahead. Whoever.
Well, I like to start off by saying I've been doing some research, and one of the strongest women in the comic book world is Jean Grey, and she is there's like even anytime Professor X can control this woman. Now, in real life, everyone on the planet would be dead because she is her own entity. I mean, she is like she can't control her powers.
But what happened?
And
Well, what about when the Phoenix stripped away from her? Because the Phoenix became her own chick.
true, but it's like but that's like another avenue to her story, and it's
I
like
mean, Jean Grey, within her own rights, is pretty powerful.
Yeah,
She's
you're
like
right.
she's
Yeah.
like one of the most powerful psychics on the face of the earth, next to Xavier.
I think Professor Xavier was trying to control her, but he could not control her.
You know, if you ever notice that, Xavier always tried to control everybody.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's the second the most powerful mutant on the planet because he can kill all the mutants on the planet if he wanted to.
So I'm gonna raise your Phoenix being like overwhelmed, overstimulated with a lot of emotion with Scarlet Witch.
That's when I said that was my second.
And
Scarlet
if
Witch,
they
yeah.
both
She's
if they
very
both are
powerful.
like on that depressing
Man,
very
dude, if they went at it,
yes, like
the world
that
would
I
would
was when the world just died.
You know
When
what?
the world just
Reality.
died.
yeah,
Reality was probably
reality
not.
And
was
they're
jacked
talking
up.
about bringing her back. And somehow
Yeah.
I don't know how,
I don't-
but they're talking about she's making another comeback.
Well, I mean,
That rock is not heavy enough.
see
They'll
what they
do
do.
like everybody
That's-
else and Nerf.
yeah,
And
I'm
just
about
bring
to
it
see what
down.
they do with
Yeah.
it because everyone we like that's powerful, Marvel has found a way to go.
Yeah.
And just leave it at that.
Right.
So
I know. It's like, hey, let's just write her back in.
Right.
Yeah, she could have
exactly.
took out Thanos by herself.
She
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
but
but
she almost did.
She almost
Yeah.
did, but
My man was like,
but the
rain
line-
fire.
the line she used should have woke him up.
Right.
Don't worry, you will. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa. I'm sorry. Where we going with
it's
this?
kind of funny because he goes, I don't even know you. She was like,
Exactly.
you will,
You will.
but he just kind of went past it. And it
Yeah.
was so funny because his daughter says they didn't expect the thing. And he goes, the arrogant never do.
Exactly. He sure did say that, and he walked right into his own words.
Wow.
He walked right
I
into
think
his own
she
words.
would have actually killed him because she was stripping his armor off like
Yeah.
she had him.
Like I said, she was taking him down to his underoos.
Right.
She was trying to let that dude know
She was like-
you hurt me.
Just flicking off his armor. I was like, dang.
Yeah, even when Captain Marvel came through and destroyed the ship, I mean that was a pretty cool scene.
It
but
really was.
I just still couldn't get over how she was holding her face.
What's wrong with her face?
He
What's
don't-
wrong with her
He
face?
It's
doesn't
like,
like
even-
the actress. that
Even
plays
when
Captain
her
Marvel.
face, she was just like,
What's wrong with her face? It's like,
yeah, it's like everybody else like had expressions like, and she was just like, I'm here. I was like, oh, okay.
but her coming into the atmosphere would just change the whole movie because all the guns stopped, they pointed up, and
Yeah.
everybody's like, "What the heck
Yeah.
is going on?"
So me and my coworkers went and watched that, and they were just like, what are they firing at? And I was like, oh, here comes it.
Yep, here go Captain Marvel, but I love Friday.
Yeah.
Something just entered the atmosphere. She was like, "I don't know what it is, dog, but y'all better get up out of there."
Yeah.
That's how she sounded. Like,
She
I don't
did
know what
sound
that
word.
was, but y'all
She
better
sound
go.
word for the Avengers.
And I'm not trying to get off topic here, but somebody else that they nerfed was Drax.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They
Drax
nerfed
was-
that dude
in the comic book.
so
Drax
bad.
is
Drax
powerful.
took on Thanos several times.
Yeah.
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 And then to a lesser point, Gamora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Gamora.
Gamora.
Gamora's like one of the most. I mean, her name is known across the universe.
right.
So I'm like, okay, you really had to jack some stuff up for everybody across the universe to know who you are.
Right.
And I'm just like, yeah, they said that in the movie, but I'm just like, just to watch her fight and everything,
Right.
I was
You,
kind
you
of
know
like,
what happened, right?
wow.
She fooled around and fell in love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
Yeah.
I couldn't resist that. I mean, y'all all talking. Y'all
Next
hyped her
time,
up.
try it.
Y'all,
Next time, just try
you
it.
all hyped her up, and when I said that, y'all
I'm just
faces was
saying.
just like,
yeah, man. Nah, they did.
This guy.
They did.
I
They
know
did.
how he got in here.
she fooled around and fell in love, and
Okay.
they pretty much did it. That's
Okay,
all. That's what
we
they had
have
to
to talk
do.
about three. So
Yeah.
Jane,
What?
Scarlet Witch, and
Who would win that fight? Scarlet Witch and the Phoenix. Not Jean Grey. When
But
the
the
Phoenix
Phoenix.
separated from Jean Grey,
It
became her
would be
own person.
That's
tough.
what I'm
That's a
saying.
Dude,
tough.
I wouldn't even
It
want to
would.
watch that fight.
Yeah, I would
I
love
just
to
want
That's
to be.
on the same
Can I go
level.
hide somewhere? Y'all let me know when it's over.
That's
Because
on
they'll
the
come
same
out.
That would be a
level
tough
as
one. That would
World
definitely be a
War
tough one.
Hulk in Century when they fought,
Yes.
and they
Yes.
said they were hitting each other so hard that earthquakes and
Mhm.
volcanoes were
Yeah.
erupting and everything else. Now we're dealing with a psychological reality warping everybody's head around while they're fighting. That would have
Well,
been.
okay, think about
I'm
it.
just like, my head is over there, but I'm still looking at my body.
I know, right?
Jean Grey, everything disintegrates around her when she gets upset. I mean, everything just starts disintegrating. Even Professor Xavier was saying he was like, the skin was just floating off of
Wait a
him.
minute, are we talking about the Phoenix or Phoenix and Jean Grey combined?
They're both combined.
Okay, well, he's saying basically
I'm saying
if
right.
you
Phoenix.
split them, yeah,
Right. But I was just talking about her as a whole.
yeah.
Because now Scarlet Witch, she may win because she can alter her reality and just trick her into, I don't know, in some type of state.
Well, if Professor X couldn't do it, you think Scarlet Witch would be able to?
Yeah, because
Well, Scarlet Witch gonna do it against her will.
Yeah.
She's
I mean,
like, I'm not trying to manipulate your mind. I'm just gonna throw you in another
because
dimension.
yeah.
because
Why would I
Okay.
fight you when I could just
Yeah.
off you go?
we
See your
saw
way.
that Vision and Wanda Quest. We saw that because
God.
okay, I know.
They basically they took the comic book The House of M and they
Yeah.
nerfed it and they
Right.
jacked it all the way up.
But
Yeah.
she was in her own.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
in her own false
Yeah.
reality.
She made it like her own bubble.
Right, and then when she put
Agatha Hartnett.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty good.
So she didn't get the recognition that she deserved.
I heard
Yeah.
that too, and I read that they, even though Agatha was she was, and everyone was just kind of like, oh yay, let's just make it really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another woman that didn't get her just due was Madam Hydra.
Okay.
That's the chick in the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
that
But,
chick
I mean,
is so sadistic.
Just like we said in the last episode, Marvel's becoming more
Family friendly.
family friendly, where everything
That's
is
it.
funny. Like you
Yeah,
get a serious
family
moment,
friendly.
and then somebody like, "Hey, I think I just wet my pants." And
Here we go again.
I know. That guy.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
So I mean,
know.
it's man, like I told you last time, I just have to get my brain away from it's comic book world to it's just MCU world.
Yeah.
Like it's a
That-
difference. I
And
know.
you know what? Something else that you said about the last episode was the Silver Surfer being a female. You said there was a universe where that was his wife. Who knew that?
I did.
Okay, who knew that?
I knew that.
Well,
Okay,
I mean,
okay. A better question. How many people knew that?
And
No,
then that's
I
your
mean,
point. And
that's
I
what
get
I'm
his point.
saying,
Yeah.
yeah.
They did something and blew everybody away that very, very few people knew of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you go to talk to people, they go, "Well, that was in this universe." You're like, "Really?" And you go research, and you're like, "Oh, I guess so." And I'm like, "Why do it?"
Well, either
Well,
that or
because
give an
change.
introduction.
Exactly.
You know,
I'm like,
bring an
you
introduction
can-
so
you
people
can
you're
get
gonna
an
take the
idea.
most iconic one of the most iconic character in Marvel and do that with?
Yeah,
That's not
if,
saving it.
we might have to do some editing, some serious editing.
No way. This is real. This is real.
We want to thank you guys for taking your Mother's Day in time. Even though you're not watching it, when you do watch it, we want to say Happy Mother's Day. We appreciate all the women around the world, single moms, those in relationships, holding it down. You do keep doing what you're doing for everyone around you because believe it or not, they need you more than they probably ever admit they need you. So with that being said, we definitely want to bounce out of here. Sammy, 2 times.
Hey, man.
Flips.
It's your boy Jay.
Want to say thank you, guys. Good night.